able to find an answer yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So here is your
what's that?
headset.
What's that? The white and blue
Oh,
container.
the wipe.
Yeah,
You need
like
it out of your studio. Oh,
no, no, no.
you
Like
sure?
I think it's here. Let me see if I can.
I hope your phone is insured, just in case.
Here.
Okay, that works.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
one.
that you need more headroom.
Here.
Okay,
This works.
that works. All right. Push this in. We definitely know where to go from here. We are about to have that conversation with the person who made the beautiful song. But just in case you are wondering what's going on, first, if you're new to us, which is Smooth 98.1, you're very welcome. This is what we call Smooth Explorer, and it's the entertainment segment of Breakfast in Bed that runs from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. every Saturday. What we do, as the name implies, is just explore the life of our guest, get to have some interesting thoughts and some of the never had before gist, if you like gist, and some discoveries, some revelations about our guest, and just have fun, really. Play some songs in between, play some games, have your thought on WhatsApp, or maybe calls if you're a fan. So that's what we get up to here. If you have been following us across all social media platforms, it means you know who my guest is. But if you have not been doing that, I have the remedy for you. Quickly whip out your phone now. Go to Instagram, search for Smooth981, and then you can go to Twitter at Smooth981FM is the handle. You look for Smooth981FM, and then you go to our timeline. You will see the face of our guest right there. I have to take a break actually. So this is me building up the suspense. And if you're also part of our WhatsApp family, you can go to the status. So I have to take a break. But going by the two songs I have played you back to back, you already know who my guest is. So how about you grab a cup of whatever it is that you like to drink, kick back, let your head down, relax, put your legs on the table if you do that, but I think you shouldn't though. And then stay with me because after the break, we'll launch into the conversation. This is Smooth 98.1.
Hello, everybody. I'm Common Plus Core. Stay tuned to Smooth
I quickly need to take
98.1.
an ad break.
Love music,
Okay.
love life. Extraordinary things. Imagine a life with zero worries. Imagine a world where you're relaxed and free. Where all your dreams
With
become
Pay Financial, you have
reality.
zero worries when it's time to pay your bills, rent, school fees, and vacation. We'll be here making it easy for you.
Visit our website www.pagefinancials.com or call 01700 Page Financials, taking you forward.
All right, we're back.
All right. Let's go.
Exactly. Not just music, it's smooth music. And not just the talk, it's smooth talk. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Smooth Explorer. If you are again joining us for the first time, if not, hey, well, you have to grab a seat and get ready for this beautiful conversation we're about to have with somebody who is so different. That's one of the words I can use in describing him, but someone who has the heart of 10 lions, which you will get to, by the way. I'm not sure what that means, but it's something I would like to get to the bottom part, which is the sweetest part of the rice and the talk. He is someone who I think I can call him an enigma, really, and he's someone who consistency, resilient has to be in the description or whatever adjective you use in describing him. He is someone who is a baba in this game, and many decades after, not just one decade, he's still standing strong. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome someone who came here on steroids and decided to bring chariots with him, faster than the speed of chariots. The one and the only Gaze Baba. Good morning.
Good morning, Lagos. It's great
Yeah,
to be here, man. It's great to be here again.
after at least
No,
not up to a decade.
no, it's not a decade. No, it's not a decade.
How has it been? Needless to say.
Man, it's been a journey. I think that's the best way to put it. It's
Hmm.
been quite a journey, you know. And I think Smooth FM has been one of the most welcoming radio stations across the course of this journey. I have to say that. So from
We'll take our flowers.
let me show that I'm close to the family. From Shopware
Okay.
to Ini to Khadija, and all of that. I don't know. It's like Smooth FM checks not just voice. It's like they also check like
The entire
because
package.
like you guys are always so fly.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll take our compliment.
It's really good, man. Thanks for having me again.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I was, due to a number of reasons, I decided to have this conversation. And I think it's just a great way to start the year because one of the things that I felt we should talk about this was one thing you trended for when you were going to have your concert.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But just in case some people do not know the history of how this man came to be, let's take you back to how it started. First off, the name
Yeah.
Gaze Baba.
Yeah.
There is the gaze, there is the Baba.
Yeah.
And how did that come about?
So GAISE, yeah. So it started off officially as GAISE, right? GAISE is simply an acronym of my initials.
Really?
Yeah. So it's Boluaga Akiade Ibuoye Samuel.
Where did the E come from? The Jara extra.
It's Jara. It's Jara because so at the very beginning of my journey, which is now like 2 decades, it was GAISE without the E. It was just GAIS. When I was going professional in 2010, my boss or the person who signed me, we looked at the name and we're thinking of either changing it, but then his wife came up with the brilliant idea that the issue we had with it was pronunciation. So some folks will go guys, they weren't sure how to pronounce GAIS. And she was like, if you put an E behind it, if you put an E in front of it, like after the S, English literature law, the AI becomes an A. So any word that ends with E, the AI sound is no longer I, now becomes A. So then you get the pronunciation you want, which is GAISE. So that's how we started off with GAISE. But the Baba was like a hype. So people like, hey, GAISE Baba, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
So after a while, I think it was like 6 or 7 years after, and then my handles were GAISE Baba. So it was like GAISE Baba, GAISE Baba. I'm like, man, Baba is cool. Let's just make it official. So we added Baba officially, and then since like 2017, 2018, it's been GAISE Baba.
It has a certain ring to it. It's just so cool. But let's take it again back to one of the places it started from. And I was that student who could count many things that were happening on the campus, but I would not go to it.
Okay.
And one of it was Aramanda. I was in OAU, by the way.
Oh,
so I
cool.
finished from OAU. Yeah, Great Effect. Let's not bring our culture to this place before smooth listeners run. But then it was a name that resounded through the campus. But I'm not sure I ever got to understand the philosophy behind it.
Well, Aramanda means exceptional wonder. And we did Aramanda. We did 2 editions so far. We're doing Aramanda again this year, by the way.
Yay! Finally.
So we had the first one in 2019. Yeah, just right by National Theatre in Sule, Igomu. Then the second one was in 2020 in Lekki, Pistis Conference Center. So the idea of Aramanda was we believe that we're people of faith. So like my music is faith based, right? But it's not the traditional gospel sounding songs. Yeah, it's topical, it's culture shaping. So what people so far have been used to in terms of like gospel music or Christian music is like music about God or for God or to God. For me and a couple of other guys, we sing God's mind on issues. So like it's topical. We're talking about society or talking about governance or talking about love, whatever the topic is, but then from the standpoint of faith. So we're like those of us who make this urban, vibey, groovy music, we're gonna put up a show. to show that there is that Christian music isn't unidirectional. There are many ways to it, you know. So that was the inspiration and that's the vision of Aramanda. So it's like putting urban Christian content on full display and make it exceptional. You know, yeah.
Another one I'm very curious about is how you became this Afrocentric person. What were the influences? Because let me tell you one of the reasons. You know that song, Follow Follow. It was an anthem for a while.
Yeah.
Because it was just so funny
I think
and
it
at the
was
same
Follow
time
Follow
worded.
was it Follow Follow that brought me to Smooth FM first? I think it was Follow Follow before Little Drops. It was first Follow Follow, then Smooth FM loved Little Drops. And
Yeah,
I don't
still
think
there.
any station has played Little Drops anywhere near Smooth FM. You know,
Because Follow just cracks
guys
you
have
up.
classy ears.
Of course we
Come
do.
on,
We're smooth.
smooth. Yeah.
So, how did you become this person who's so much in love with Africa and should I say culture or
So
heritage?
I don't think I became.
Okay.
I think I always was. I discovered that I was. You know, I grew up in Ile. I was born in Ileife, in Osun State. I was born there.
Few
So I
people
didn't.
call it Ileife. Many people
Most
call
people
it
say
Ife.
Ife. No,
Yeah.
me I call it Fu. I respect the heritage.
Apparently.
Ileife.
Yeah.
I grew up speaking Yoruba, singing you. I didn't grow up on all them. I didn't grow up on smooth music. You know, if I put
Okay.
it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm talking Kayode Fashola, I'm talking Telemi, I'm talking Ebenezer Obey,
Hmm.
Sonia Day, Orlando War. These guys. I grew up on that kind of music, you know. And then as an adult, of course, high school, we all went foreign. So I'm doing Tupac, Craig David. No, not Tupac. Jaru. I did a
Ah.
lot of Jaru, Craig David, um, Mark Anthony. So
Mm.
I mean that early 2000s music, you know. But later on, mid 2000s, I then got on to folks like maybe like a Bob Marley, a fella, you know, those conscious music type people
Mm.
as well. And you know, I just eventually grew into this guy who's passionate about Africa and people of African descent. You know, I believe there's a strong there's a strong part of my course or destiny or assignment that is strongly connected to people of African descent.
Mm. So the message starts from here
Yeah.
and spreads to the world, or it's the vice versa.
No, from here. It has to start from here.
Mm.
You can only spread, you know, if you look at it as concentric circles, you can't come from outside in. It has to go from inside out.
And how has it been? How has the reception been to the people who you feel you were sent to, if I call it that way?
It's taking some time. I mean, the album is literally called a decade after. You know, so yeah, it's taking some time. But I think I'm in familiar territory,
Mm.
you know. Fela started with High Life before he moved and created something fresh. So it took years. Sonia Day's first album, if you don't know, no now, his first album was a flop. So the second album that peaked, right? The second album was the one that had the master guitarist. I know most people listening might not even, or some might not. So like I'm a student of history. I
Yeah.
read up on these people's journeys and stories, so I can find, you
The
know,
link?
I can find the link and see how I can be inspired from history. You know, Ebenezer Obey used to be the band boy for Fatai Rolling Dollar. He used to be the one like packing drums and packing stuff for Fatai Rolling Dollar. That's how Ebenezer Obey got into the industry. So all these like great men, if you read back and study to the beginning of their journeys, it wasn't like it was rosy either. You know, so you just have to stick to your guns and to your guts and keep moving, and eventually the world will come and meet you.
Mm. So those were part of the things that kept you going.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine lately it's been like everywhere you turn, especially in the Christian Twitter and those communities, like the community is growing is it wider and wider, or some people are just catching up? There was something you said that I found really interesting on Twitter. Somebody said, gays should be trending on Twitter, and you said in real life we're trending.
Twitter will catch up.
Yeah, Twitter. I'm like, ooh, punchline.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a very, you've had a good year. And
I think I can
years,
say that.
yeah.
I think I can say that. Years, well, it depends on how you look at it. Well, it's good because it's part of the journey. So if people look at just say if you look at the last 2 to 3 months and be like, oh man, gays, you're popping, man. But the last 2 to 3 months is a result of like 13 to 17,
Yeah.
20 years. Nothing just happens. All right, nobody's an overnight success. If you're an overnight success, it means that night probably lasted like 10 years. You get what I mean? So I'm just trying to say that yes, we can say good years, because even the years when it wasn't, you weren't like on the mountaintop, you're at the back of the desert, is part of what built the person who is now at the mountaintop, or who everybody's touting as, like, you get what I mean? It's part of the journey that formed who you are as a person, as an entity, you know. Yes.
We'll take a break. And when we come back, there is that topic I want us to touch on, and that is the one that caught my attention. It was lots of fire. And as we use it in Nigeria parlance, a lot of bass and boops. When you
We're
were
ready for all the bass
when you
and
were
all the
building
booze.
up to your concert, that's Gaze Baba Live in concert,
Yeah.
that happened on 22nd of December, and how folks said things that are Christian or gospel in quotes should not be paid for. You're not supposed to charge people, and that's one part of it. And the second part is, oh, how do you merge Christian and entertainment in the same sentence? So when we come back, you will help us breaking down in bits.
I would love to.
If you're joining us, you are listening to Smooth Explorer here in Smooth 98.1. The person on the hot seat who we are exploring this morning is Gaze Baba. And you can follow the conversation on YouTube, by the way, where you can drop your comment. So it is youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. We'll be right back.
They call me M.I., Mr. Incredible, short black boy, the chairman, and you are listening.
And there is a part of when you say for years or decades, we have been too wavy for the church and too churchy for the wavy. What do you mean?
You're Christian, yeah? So you can understand how the music has been like. People don't know where to put you. People have not like known where to put our music or who we are. Because the music of the church is congregational worship. It's you come and you lead people in worship. That's the core of church music. And it should be like that as well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
it's the one and
on the
only
other
Ocean Boy, I
side,
go by the name Alpha. For the very best of music,
like
keep it
preaching
locked
at
to
them,
Smooth
preaching
98.1. Love music,
Let's have a good time, yeah.
time, So part of why it has taken the time it has taken is trying to carve that niche and blaze that trail. It's almost like a new lane in which you can have a gig and you have Christians and have non-Christians in it. You have giving your music. So it's like then in church, most of the music is like intro to message. Like you use the music to build up to the message. In our case, the music is the message. So not every pastor can handle that. That's one. But then it also showed that we needed an avenue or a place where people are coming to just experience the music. So our dependence couldn't be on church. We had to carve our own or build our own platforms where people come to experience the music. So I mean, it started with Light Out. So Light Out we started going around high school. That started in 2017. We've done 16 of that. 16 editions of that. Then we did Aramanda. Then we started Lounge 464. Lounge 464 was more Gaze Baba's place. So people came to experience. We did it every month. We started December 2020. We did the pilot December 2020. Then April 2020. Sorry, December. Yeah, December 2020. Then April 2021. I'm thinking of 2022. April 2021. We then started every month. We did 10 in Lagos, went to do one in Abuja, came back, did another one in Lagos, then went to do Ibadan. So we did 13 of that. So that kind of built, and I'm performing the band as well. So that kind of built that culture um, of performing, and it built the momentum, of the music and of the community and of the culture over time. So by the time we now said we were doing this Baba Life in concert, there was a ready community, a ready audience.
Yeah, to get into that.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. That is very well, let me not say deep, but that's very systematic in the build up.
And it wasn't like, to be honest, it wasn't even like I plotted it.
It just happened. Somebody was plotting it for you.
I just obeyed my way into it. You get inspired, you move. You get inspired, you get led, you move.
Okay, we have 12 more seconds. Okay, let's go. I don't want to say if you have been living under a rock, chances are that you'll not have listened to that. But again, it's possible that you have not heard that before. And if you have not, well, you're living under a rock. That is Elijah Level by Gaze Baba, who's my guest this morning. I tell you, if we should even start to ask where that song came from, he's going to take us to church here on the radio. But we'll take that, we'll just hold that thought for now. And I think you can find the whole exegesis on where that song came from on his YouTube page. So you go to youtube.com/Gaze Baba and you find a lot of materials that you can doze on there. But for now, we want to know how Gaze Baba Live in concert went.
Oh Lord. one of the best nights of my life thus far. It was really great to be with my people, be with the community, be with Muson Center was packed. When I got back, after setup and all of that, I went back to the house, cleaned up and started coming. When I got back, I saw someone outside. I was like, what's going on? She was like, man, it's a struggle to find a seat. And I was like, are you serious? She said, why are you shocked? So I go backstage, I peep in, and the whole place is like packed. So it was a good thing that Twitter happened.
Because many people had to come and see for themselves.
So it was really great. I'm really grateful. I really am grateful for that event and how everything went. The ambience, the lights, the sound, the music, the set, the flow of the songs, because I was on stage maybe about an hour, 30 minutes altogether. But most importantly, the people. The audience was amazing. It was really amazing.
Do you see people while you're on stage?
Oh yes, I do.
Do you know what I mean by
do you see people? Notice faces?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't see everybody.
Yeah, but you spot.
But as I'm performing, I'll spot people.
Ah. Because in my mind, I think when you're on the stage, okay, sometimes when I host events, I just look over the heads of some people. Sometimes, depending on the number, it's like a sea of heads.
Yes.
And you don't get it. The faces are sometimes blurry.
Yeah, but once in a while, especially maybe because I'm performing, there are certain songs where you make a connection with one person. You single one person out, make a connection maybe for like 5 seconds. You move, then make another connection. You can now zoom out and make it like, okay, collect a collective, then zoom.
Technique to this thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because most times you see people on stage and it's like they are in another realm.
And that happens as well when you're just like into the music and not like trying to. For instance, when I was performing, I think it was Surely. When I was performing Surely, and Surely is quite an emotional. In fact, they have gotten some feedback that there are certain folks in the audience that cry.
Yeah.
So when we did Surely, when we did Wambiliki Wabia as well, because Wambiliki Wabia, we
That's one
had
of my favorite songs, by the
Crown
way.
Troop. I can't wait for the video to come out. We had Crown Troop Africa, the
Ooh.
theater guys were with us. That's Shegun Fila's company. So it was such a wonderful piece. So I was really, it was like we were delivering a theater piece.
Yeah.
So I wasn't so much into like the audience. I was just into the art, illustrating with what they were, depicting and acting as we were singing the songs. My BGVs were seated in front of me. So it was kind of like this is it Tales by Moonlight kind of vibe. It was really beautiful.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so how do you answer and deal with the question of if you're doing a Christian centered music, it shouldn't be too entertainment and it also should be free. I was talking with somebody yesterday while I was just going over some of the thoughts, and I'm not sure where we got that thought from, that things that are supposed to be Christian
I was supposed to be free.
are supposed to be free.
It's from church.
How would it be?
Because
Because if
so
that's
let me tell you what I mean by it's from church. The church brings musicians to church,
but
but the people technically don't pay. So people experience their favorite musicians for free in church. But technically, you have paid before because over time you have been dropping offering and tithe. So technically, you actually paid, but you're not pragmatic enough to realize that you paid, right? So we've built the culture, we built that culture, yeah, and that's what some of us are committed to changing, right? I do not. There shouldn't be like payment in church and all of that, but this is a show, and I'm
this is
intentionally
business.
I'm intentionally using the word show, because that's another thing. We'll get to the entertainment part, but like it's a life music performance experience. You have to create it, and it costs good money to do that, and you have to, as a responsible person, commit to some of that cost, right? So you want to have an experience. So for instance, one of the tweets were saying the music is supposed to bless the people. What the music you're making is, inspirational, is blessing people and all of that. You don't charge for that. And I was like, yo, the music is on iTunes, it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify. You can't listen to the music. Nobody's technically charging you for that. What you are coming for now is not the music. What you want is a live performance experience, and what it takes to put that together, you will pay for it by the special grace of God.
The funny thing, so almost if not every guest I have had on the show, I tend to ask them, where did you start from? And 99% of the times, the answer is the church. And you ask them, so why did you leave the church to go and start out your stuff? You know the answer that comes after, which is to make money or to establish myself in this career. It becomes a career. So if that is the mindset, so why then are you saying that people who are still chosen to stay in the church to perform, why should they not be paid? And that question almost never gets an answer.
Well, there are two different sides to it. There's they shouldn't be paid. They shouldn't charge. Charge tickets to a show. There are two different.
It's a
There's
show.
that conversation about should you charge if you're invited to sing or all of that. But that wasn't what the conversation was on Twitter. The conversation on Twitter was about the concert and there being tickets to the concert. So like if you're doing a concert, if it's Christian and it's ministry, then there shouldn't be tickets. That was the argument, right? So if we stay on that, then the my conversation. I mean, there was someone who tweeted that. There's one who tweeted that. What did he say now? He said, um, um, sponsors are gonna come in eventually. People are gonna like bankroll it. That when that happens, don't worry, guys. Person was supporting that they should ticket. Person said when that happens, don't worry, gays will not charge. I mean, not gays will not charge. The show can be free. Yeah. So I quoted it. I was like, nice one, nice one, but trust me, it will still not be free because it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
We need a culture where people realize that even though the content is Christian, you should pay for it because even the Bible says you should buy the truth and
And
sell it not. So buy the truth.
Cruz on WhatsApp says, human beings like free things if they're not compelled to part with something. And that's definitely true. So to the other side, which is the entertainment, how do you usually answer the question of, if you claim you're doing something Christian, why or is it so entertainmenty, if there is any word like that?
Well, yeah, the issues are with the terms and people's definitions of terms and the ideas that have been associated with those terms, right? So the word entertainment has been demonized over time within church, and it's not, it's not demonic, it's not bad, it's not evil. It's simply something that arrests your attention and detains your attention for a period of time while a message is being passed. Period. So whether it's a game or comedy or a movie or music, whatever it is, it makes you feel good, it entertains you, all of that. So for me, what I always say is entertainment is like a vehicle, and you can channel through it any message you want. You can channel drugs, you can channel God. You
So
can
basically
channel
anything you
any
believe.
so entertainment is the container. It's what are you passing through it to your people. So maybe when people think entertainment, maybe when some Christians or faithful or religious people think entertainment, they are thinking like vulgar stuff, illicit stuff, and all. That's because we have left entertainment to those who that's what they push through it, right? Entertainment is great. Entertainment, what Bob Marley was entertaining, but his messages were deep, really deep and loaded. Get what I mean? Ebenezer Obey, entertaining. Oliver Mtukudzi from Zimbabwe, entertaining. But these guys dropped eternal songs. Well, let's say, yeah, lifelong God.
Not eternal.
Songs, maybe not eternal, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So, ain't nothing wrong with entertainment. And we're going to use entertainment to do good in this life.
Mic drop. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll play a game. And when we're done, I will ask a question about one of the songs I've also come to enjoy because of the deep message. That's why the fact that it's entertaining. It has that deep message, and that is Emergency.
Yo.
So I'd like more people to listen to what brought that song and maybe just have a takeaway for this Saturday morning. You're listening to Smooth Explorer here on Smooth 98.1. I hope your voice is not too cracked to sing. Good, it's not.
There's only one party that's advertising.
Well, here we have two actually, which is APC and PDP.
They're the ones that have money.
Truth be told, I've not seen or heard a Labour Party advert.
It's money, man. It's money.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think their case is like a case of St. Louis sugar. You don't need that.
Yeah, just they have to trust.
maybe-
They have to trust that everyone who's rooting for them will come out and vote. That's the thing. People have to come out and vote.
Or maybe the people they need to advertise to are not listening to these radio channels. They need more. They need to go out there.
Who's a delicate?
Yeah, it's on that.
This is an emergency. No best episode. Speedy. I'll be foolish to think I can handle it. Don't take my body.
Tell that to the emergency.
Put the best episode accordingly. Nobody think you can handle it.
There are times I know that happens only to me, but there are times I'm listening to to a song. It's
David fought
cool,
many
very
battles
entertaining,
in his
and I
life,
just stopped to dance
but
when I'm
none
supposed
of
to be
them
dancing.
was
I
in
just
his
listen
own
to the lyrics.
house.
So sometimes when I listen to a song for the first time, I
Then
can
he
listen
go
three
carry
times.
who know
So the first time I
his
listen to the
wife.
lyrics,
All
depending on
of
the
a
kind of beat.
sudden, small,
So if it was
small,
the
the
beat that first got
family
me, I just listen to the
scatter.
beat, and then later
I'm
on
not
I
the
listen to the lyrics. Because I wouldn't want a situation where
great
I'm singing a song
matter.
and it's
I'm
like, can you
Shalom,
hear
we kill,
yourself?
I'm not killing
So most
brother,
times
run
I first listen to the
away.
lyrics,
Then
and
in
if I'm too
return,
deep in listening to the
they
lyrics,
drag
in case I
from
won't
the
be dancing,
dad.
I just stay
Wage
still.
war with
So this was the
dad.
song. How did
Chaos
I?
for fun. This is an
It was a
emergency.
lyrics
Go best
video.
episode. I'm
So I'm like,
foolish to
what is
think I can
emergency?
handle it. Blood in my body.
Then I followed the
Yeah,
lyrics.
my God. This is an
Then
emergency.
I
Go
went to
best
the video where he
episode.
was
I'm
explaining it on the
no
stage
go to
how it
think you
goes. I'm
can
like,
handle it. It's all
this
over
is
Bruce Lee.
deep. But
Body no be
Isholo Fabric
firewood.
like
Make it no
it
go get
completely was just
fire. Even
hilarious.
if you dey for wire. Body no be firewood.
So we have a
This is an
claims that
emergency. The best
independent
episode.
stem cell is due to
Which year was
GAISE
this?
due to achieve and arrive at Nigeria and
This is an emergency. So the best episode. Accordingly. Don't
2015.
go they think you can handle it. Shalom, Bruce Lee.
Ah,
This is an
that's
emergency. The
eight
best
years.
episode. I'm foolish to think I can handle it. Blood in my body. This is an emergency. The best episode. Accordingly. Don't go they think you can handle it. Shalom, Bruce Lee.
Remember the part where the message has no genre really? It's just the entertainment is just the vehicle. I think that song is one of it. Very beautiful song. And if you're like me, you are following the lyrics of the song. This is an emergency. This is or
Speedily.
speedily. Isholo
I'm
Fabrusli
foolish to
is
think I can handle it. Blood in my body. This is an emergency. Better or accordingly. No think you can handle it. You should look at Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, break it down for us. Where did the song come from?
It came from my study of David's story and how he fell for Bathsheba. No, not like fell for Bathsheba really, because it wasn't like
Chills on her own.
Bathsheba was on her own.
Yeah.
It was just David's foolishness. Wise people can be foolish.
Mm.
You can get it twisted at times and just trip. And that's what happened to David, because really he wasn't even supposed to be at home. He was supposed to be at war, because it was the times when kings go to war. So if I know they see naked woman before they fight, so he was where he wasn't supposed to be. Saw Bathsheba taking a bath, and Lust took over and brought her in, and had his way with her. Yeah. Then she got pregnant. He got her husband to come, tried to get the husband to go in with her. The husband was more honorable than him, and Uriah didn't go. Uriah slept in front of David's house, the palace. He sends Uriah with his own death letter, kills Uriah, and then takes over the woman. But however, after all that episode, his family became shambles. His son raped his daughter. The other son killed the son that raped his own direct sister. Then that other son now runs away from the kingdom, comes back and commits treason, starts fighting his father. Then that one too died. Then another of the sons too wanted to become king. Like the family just became messed up. And while I was reading it, it just dawned on me that all those things weren't happening in his family until that indiscretion that he had with another man's wife. And that was instructive for me that, infidelity or adultery or any of those have more far reaching consequences than even you as a person. Like it literally can even affect your seed or your lineage, stuff like that, your family. So I had that in mind for a couple of months. Then one of these nights, T-Babs, who was the one who produced, sent me a beat, and it came back to my mind what I thought about, and then I started writing about it. That's how the song came about.
Mm. And the process, that means the beat came.
Yeah, the beat came first. Emergency, the beat came first. Elijah Level, the song came first. Surely, the beat came first. Logo, the song came first. So it depends.
Either the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken. What matters is everything is set. On the WhatsApp, Cruz says the song goes with slow galala dance. Cruz, how will you be dancing galala to such a serious song? And then he further says it wasn't foolishness, so it was longer throat. Ojukokoro.
Yes, part of it.
Then Akindele says, Gaze Baba hailing you from Abuli Egba. Definitely, I think there's that Baba that comes with hailing, like you mentioned
You
earlier.
get what I mean? You get what I mean?
Oh, sorry. I didn't even check the time. We actually have to get out of the studio. And that's that. I've not even gotten to half of what I wanted to ask. But before we even go, let's do a little bit of a game.
All right.
So it's a game of Freudian sleep.
Of what?
Freudian sleep from Sigmund Freud.
Okay.
So he's a psychologist. And it's a psychological game, but it's fun either ways. So I just say a word you don't think, and then say what comes to your mind. You probably are familiar with the game.
I'm not. Which makes it maybe more interesting.
And maybe more slippery too. So you just say what comes to your mind, and that's it. Don't think, don't blink, just say it. Are you ready?
Well, I'm ready.
Just say it. Don't worry, I will not put you in trouble.
All right.
Just say it. It's whatever you know what they say, that whatever it is inside will come out. So
Okay.
it's not like I'm trying to expose you.
No.
So let's go. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Love,
Life.
money,
Good.
Nigeria,
Hope.
black,
Power.
woman,
Sweet.
Why is woman sweet?
I'm married.
Obviously. I think that was Cruz. It's not a trap. He said the game is a trap. Yeah. Speaking, there is no way you can actually have a conversation with you and not talk about how it has been being the husband of Funto Iboye.
Expansive. You expand as a person.
Yeah. What does that mean for someone who doesn't know?
I mean, she's a powerful woman. I knew before the world knew.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that's happening, it's great to see people catching up.
There is a lot about you that people need to catch up on.
Yeah, there's more.
Interesting. So how do you think the next 5 years will look like?
Culture shaping. A lot of culture shaping in a lot of African countries, and a lot of outside of Africa places, connecting a lot with people of African descent.
I know you have talked about the vision, but is that an ultimate dream for Gaze Baba?
I can't say really, because we never really know the fullness of what God has in mind for us. We know in bits, we know in parts, and then what you know, act on it. As much as you know right now, act on it. So it's like he doesn't give you like a map. He like releases a scroll. So like he releases a scroll, a bit of it, you do that, he releases the next part, you do that, he releases the next part, you do that. So it's an adventure for me at the same time. So I really cannot say where I'll be in 5 years' time, but I know it to be great on a global level.
And probably even way more than what you imagined.
Exactly. It has to be. That's what the Bible says. So it has to be.
Unfortunately, we need to get out of the studio because time is up. And I was just, maybe one of these days we'll have you back. Are we looking forward to more concerts this year?
Oh, definitely. I'm looking into touring within Nigeria, touring outside Nigeria, Africa, outside Africa. For Nigeria, I'm thinking Port Harcourt, Abuja. We've done Ibadan last year. We did Abuja 2 years ago, but we need to go back there because when we went, the album wasn't out yet, album is out now, and there's a lot more like demand and yearning for a Gaze Baba experience. So that's something I'm looking to do. Then outside Nigeria as well as God leads.
What about videos for those powerful songs?
Definitely a video for Elijah Level. Definitely some videos from the concerts. I mean, we have some great content. We just need to put it together, right? And then put that out. Some features will happen this year. More music, new music will be out this year. So it's gonna be, like I said, 2023 is the real Elijah Level year.
Hmm.
Even I'm watching out.
Okay, so you have the ears of the world right now. If there is something you could say, what would it be?
Jesus is King.
Okay, and that's on that. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And this is where we wrap up the show for today. Thank you for listening from 7 a.m. all till now. You're the real MVP, and we appreciate you. You can catch this video, by the way. Go back to YouTube to catch it and just have fun and great time with your family and friends. And you can follow Gaze Baba across all social media platforms. You need to keep up because, this 2023 is on steroids, and
Yes,
you
yes.
need that speed. You need to catch up, like you mentioned. Catch up has been a word, a repetitive word today, because that's the speed. 2023 is taking up on or taking off on a great note. So follow him on Twitter, on Instagram, and also subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is GAISE BABA. That's Gaze with the Healing Baba. And you can continue the conversations there. Thank you, and thank you again. My name is Oluwashim Olusegun, and do not forget that the music never stops here on Smooth 98.1. Crew says Velocity 7 according to Flash series. You got that right. Here is one of the most beautiful songs from Gaze Baba, and it's Surely by Lagos, Nigeria, and the rest of the world.
Baba, a musician, creative entrepreneur, cultural architect, and actually
Thank you.
fellow musicians, fellow creatives.
Oh yeah, you did you performed, yeah.
We started from the bottom, now we run things now.
The song actually is very emotional. It's like that.
And the journey is still long now.
Let me not compare it, but it just somehow reminds me of the deeper message in Ojwele back then. So are you performing today?
No, well, I can't.
You can't
because
say
3 days ago when I performed,
you
I
didn't
was
expect. So where the people already prepared for you? And came up with the dance. Sorry, it's dance step. Oh yeah, yeah. And then who added the extra running man to it? I thought it was on the sports.
The motion was Kaduna people started. It's going up and down. What's your handle?
Oluwaseun R. Oluwaseun R. Olusegun.
So I drop beat after beat, pushing hard to make a hit, song after song, taking too long, asking questions, make I no go wrong. Baba God say, I'm gonna be strong, but with so many ups and